Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first annual 40 Whiners pity party. Here we are to have self-pity about the Niners losing in the playoffs. I'm your host, Pax Salinas, and we are trying to deal with existential dread, which it's not as bad as I would think. Here's what I got to how to handle this championship game. Cry, complain, cope, and blame the refs. Yeah, that wasn't very good notes, but that's okay. So, they lost the game. It is what it's going to be. I'm a little annoyed. I'm not really upset. I'm more annoyed because this game never got a chance to be what it was built up to be. Purdy now tore his UCL, so he's out now till pretty much the beginning of next season. Of course, we hope the best for him. He went down real easy, or not real easy, once again, I told myself I wasn't going to be bothered by this game, and I guess I still am. No, he went down early in the game, first quarter, and I mean there were gaffes all throughout this game. I mean, it should have been a sign the moment that Fred Warner was down for a few moments before he got back up how this game was going to go. Shanahan forgets he could challenge plays. I think he should have thrown it. I've read later on that his excuse was, oh well, we didn't have time to see it from upstairs. We didn't get any angle that definitively looked at he didn't complete the catch. But you would think put 2 and 2 together. It's their first drive of the game. It's their first quarter. It was just a 4th and 3, and they're rushing to the line to get a playoff. Just throw the red flag. I know you don't want to lose a timeout, but it's the first half. It's not like this is the second half and you're in the fourth quarter where it's going to mean a whole lot more. I guess easier said than done. Everyone can be an armchair quarterback or armchair coach in this case, but okay, whatever. Josh Johnson was an absolute, I'm trying to put it nicely. He certainly didn't help any situation. 3 delayed game penalties, that fumble, but of course then he goes out to concussion. So let's go ahead and put Purdy back in. We're not going to do a wildcat offense. McCaffrey, I guess, could have been quarterback at some point. They had him switch out Holmes. Apparently, Juszczyk could have been. They had half of a playbook at that point. Everything that could have gone wrong this game went wrong, and that's why I'm not particularly upset about it like I was last year, where it was pretty much just intercept the ball from Matt Stafford, and they probably would have won that game. Here, I'm not guaranteeing they would have won, but if Purdy stayed in, it would have been close, and I think they definitely had a very good chance of being able to win that game still. Just once again, no guarantees. The cry part I really never did. I'm not gonna lie. Complain. Yeah, I did a little bit of complaining there. I guess I can also complain about some of those penalties as well. Just a few of them. I wasn't a fan of roughing the kicker. I still think he was partially pushed in. I wasn't a fan of that pass interference call on Ward where contact was made shortly after the line of scrimmage there. I was wondering why they called it. I'm not a fan of that one. And I guess the other one it was more hilarious than anything else was, I forget who it was. He was punching the ball the whole entire time after the play stopped, and they call it unsportsmanlike. So, okay. A lot of the other penalties happened, and it's understandable why. They were frustrated by the end of that game. The defense was absolutely gassed, and I still think the defense played rather well, actually. They held the Eagles to under 300 yards. They nearly sacked Jalen Hurts for a safety. Nick Bosa, he just barely got out of the end zone there. Bosa almost had that. The defense, I think, played as solid as they possibly could in this situation. You're talking that basically it's, I think the Niners might have been better off just pointing to a fan in the crowd and saying, just come play with us instead there at that point. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and try to, make too many excuses, if any. This is all kind of a joke, really, at this point with this video. I'm not taking it seriously with how this loss happened. It was just everything could go wrong, did go wrong. And I will say this, though. I am going to put the team on Packer Watch alert. And what I mean by that is I think beating Aaron Rodgers one too many times in the playoffs has made his bad juju rub off onto us now. So we're going to start making NFC Championship games and lose them like the Packers. I'm only saying watch this year. If it happens again next year, then it's a full-blown warning. And I could argue that it could have happened this year, but the difference is that when they went to the championship game last year, They came in as a 6th seed, had to win their last game of the playoffs to even make the win the last game of the season to even make the playoffs, and then went to the NFC Championship game as a 6th seed and nearly completed it. The Packers, they tend to blow their NFC Championship games by being the number 1 or number 2 seed and then just losing. So I spare the Niners 1 year on that. But next year, though, if it happens, we are officially the new Packers, and that sounds absolutely dreadful. But hey, it is what it is. This is going to be an interesting offseason. I will continue to do stuff during the offseason. I'm actually probably going to expand out into at least probably the NFC, looking as best I can with that. And of course, if anything big happens around the league entirely, we'll do that in the offseason here. But it has been a great first season trying to just learn how to do this as well. If you've been watching me this far, thank you so much for doing so. I'm going to try to get better. This is a lot harder than I think people anticipated ever have been, myself included there. But I know I'm just going to keep plugging away and we'll get going there one way or another. But everyone out there, stay faithful. It's been a great year. I think this team can still do wonderful things next year, and I look forward to it. And that quest for 6 still continues on. For a quick thing in the Super Bowl, I mean, I know the Eagles beat us, but I like to see the Eagles win just because I'm not a big fan of the Chiefs. But we'll see how that turns out. That's going to be, of course, 2 weeks away now. Otherwise, though, thanks, guys, so much once again for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again shortly. Take care. Bye.